For our final project in Public Health Biostatistics 2210, we conducted a survey among Ohio State undergraduate students on access to healthy food. First, we will address the background of the problem and go through our research questions. The rising rates of obesity and overweightness in the United States over the past several decades are indicative of a public health crisis. According to a 2018 report by the CDC, 30.9% of adults aged 18 and older are considered obese. Ohio's average is higher than the national average, with a prevalence of 34.0%. The graph on the right shows the national prevalence of obesity in adults and in children, showing a significant increasing linear trend from 1999 and 2000 through 2015 and 2016. Those who are obese or overweight are at a higher risk of serious health problems, including all-cause mortality, hypertension, dyslipidemia, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and many other problems. Unhealthy eating habits can lead to obesity and a number of other serious health problems, making it incredibly important to have access to healthy foods and knowledge about making healthy choices when it comes to nutrition. In college, students are susceptible to unhealthy behaviors and eating habits due to a myriad of factors, including stress, financial limitations, time constraints, and the convenience of fast food. College is an important time in the development of habits and behaviors because students are often living on their own for the very first time. According to the World Health Organization, adult disease burden is directly linked to health risk behaviors established during adolescence. Importantly, developing good eating habits during college and young adulthood builds the foundation for a very healthy adulthood. Although there are a number of factors that impact a college student's diet, this survey focused on how finances affect the accessibility of healthy foods. The central research question that we asked was, is there an association between the cost of healthy foods and college students' diets? Data was also collected on the association of living on or off campus on access to healthy foods, as well as whether or not students feel they have enough nutritional knowledge to make informed decisions about eating healthy foods. These are all important in relating the accessibility of healthy food to a college student's diet.
Our target population was all Ohio State undergrad students. In order to collect data for this target population, the survey was distributed to a large number of these undergrad students here at Ohio State. We gave our survey to multiple very large gen ed classes through the messaging system on Carmen. It was also sent to honors and scholars groups and various clubs around campus through GroupMe. With this wide distribution, the recruiting strategy should be representative of the undergrad population as a whole. We obtained data from a variety of majors, class ranks, ages, and backgrounds. We were able to obtain a total of 155 responses. Qualtrics was used to gather the responses from the participants of the survey. RStudio was used to interpret and analyze the data at hand. The fixtures in the chi-square test were mainly used in order to test associations between certain variables from the questions at hand.
The next section displays the results of our survey as well as some corresponding statistical tests. In our survey, we obtained responses from 155 individuals, the major demographics of which are shown in the table on this slide. 79.35% of our respondents were female, making up a large majority of our sample. Additionally, 79.35% of our respondents were white, making up another large majority of our sample. The years in school and ages had more variation, with no single demographic making up the majority in either category. One of the most important questions from our survey, used for several statistical tests, was which factors most into your decision when buying food: cost, taste, or health? 42 of 147 people who responded to this question ranked cost as their most important factor. 55 of 147 people ranked taste as their most important factor, and 50 of 147 people ranked health as their most important factor. In Test 1, the research question was, is there an association between someone's ability to make healthy choices and health being someone's most important factor when they buy food? A Fisher's exact test was conducted. In our sample, 48 of the 50 people, 96%, who ranked health as their most important factor are confident in their ability to make healthy choices. 47 of the 52 people, 90.4%, who ranked health as their second most important factor are confident in their ability to make healthy choices. 35 of the 45 people, 77.8%, who ranked health as their third most important factor are confident in their ability to make healthy choices. This test resulted in a significant difference with a p-value of 0.0002067. There is evidence of an association between someone's ability to make healthy choices and ranking health as the most important factor when buying food. In Test 2, the research question was, is there an association between how much someone who lives off campus spends on groceries weekly and cost being someone's most important factor when they buy food? A chi-squared test was conducted. In our sample, 8 of the 42 people, 19%, who ranked cost as their most important factor spend $30 or less on groceries weekly. 10 of 42 people, 23.8%, who ranked cost as their most important factor spend $30 to $60 on groceries weekly. 6 of 42 people, 14.3%, who ranked cost as their most important factor spend more than $60 on groceries weekly. This test resulted in a significant association with a p-value of 0.03073. There is evidence of an association between how much someone who lives off campus spends on groceries weekly and cost being someone's most important factor when buying food.
In Test 3, the research question was, is there an association between cost being someone's most important factor when they buy food and where they grocery shop? A chi-square test was conducted. In our sample, 18 of 42 people, or 42.9% of people, who ranked cost as their most important factor shop at Kroger most frequently. 4.8% who ranked cost as their most important factor shop at Giant Eagle most frequently. 16.7% of people who ranked cost as their most important factor shop at Target most frequently. And 35.7% who ranked cost as their most important factor shop at other places most frequently. This test resulted in a non-significant difference, with a p-value of 0.119. There is no evidence of an association between where people grocery shop and cost being their most important factor when buying food. In Test 4, the research question was, is there an association between cost being someone's most important factor when buying food and the alteration of their eating habits when they moved off of campus due to cost? A Fisher's exact test was conducted. 23 of 42 people, 54.8%, who ranked cost as their most important factor agree that the cost of food altered their eating habits when they moved off of campus. 40.5% who ranked cost as their most important factor are indifferent about if the cost of food altered their eating habits when they moved off campus or not. 4.8% who ranked cost as their most important factor when buying food disagree that the cost of food altered their eating habits when they moved off campus. This test resulted in a significant association with a p-value of 0.003496. There is evidence of an association between cost being someone's most important factor when buying food and the alteration of their eating habits when they moved off campus due to cost. In the panel of bar charts on the slide, it can be seen that the largest proportion of people who ranked cost as their most important factor when buying food agree that the cost of food altered their eating habits when they moved off campus. People who are indifferent about if the cost of food altered their eating habits when they moved off campus make up the largest proportion of people who ranked cost as their least important factor. In Test 5, the research question was, is there an association between living on campus and the ability to make healthy choices? A Fisher's exact test was performed. In our sample, 69 of 133 people, or 51.9%, who were confident in their ability to make healthy choices live on campus. 6.8% of people who were confident in their ability to make healthy choices were commuter students. And 41.4% of people who were confident in their ability to make healthy choices live off campus. This test resulted in a non-significant difference with a p-value of 0.1303. There is no evidence of an association between living on campus and the ability to make healthy choices. In Test 6, the research question was, is there an association between which meal plan someone has and their ability to make healthy choices? A Fisher's exact test was conducted. In our sample, 21 of 133 people, or 15.8%, who were confident in their ability to make healthy choices, had the Scarlet 14 plan. Also in our sample, 33 of 133 people, or 24.8%, who were confident in their ability to make healthy choices, had the Gray 10 plan. 7 of 133 people, or 5.3%, who were confident in their ability to make healthy choices, had the Unlimited plan. This test resulted in a non-significant difference, with a p-value of 0.2191. There is no evidence of association between which meal plan someone has and their ability to make healthy choices.
Undergraduate college students at The Ohio State University are exposed to a myriad of fast food restaurants and unhealthy dining hall food options. In this survey, we set out to find out if there is an association between the cost of healthy foods and college students' diet. In our first test, we found evidence of an association between someone's ability to make healthy choices and ranking health as the most important option when buying food. We also found evidence of an association between how much off-campus residents spend on groceries and cost being the most important factor when shopping for food. However, we found no evidence of association between where someone shops and cost being their most important factor when they grocery shop. Cost remains a factor, and we were able to find an association when comparing cost being someone's most important factor and the alteration of eating habits when students moved off campus. While funds were clearly an issue for off-campus residents, we found no evidence of association between living on campus and the ability to make healthy choices.
In our sample, 69 of 133 people were confident in their ability to make healthy choices on campus. This is important because it shows that regardless of cost, when students go to the grocery store, most of them feel confident in their ability to make healthy decisions, even if they're not financially able to.
Data for the background and development of our research question was found primarily from the Center for Disease Control's website. The Center for Disease Control collects data on large groups of Americans every single year, and so it was relevant and informative material for our group.